everyone. Good afternoon. Really looking forward to this session. So thank you, Sanjay, once again for the introduction. I'd like to now bring everyone on camera, my panelists on camera. So if all of you can come on camera, and one line introduction on yourself and the company you work for, just one line. So we can start with Marwa. Marwa, can you start?
Hello, everyone. I'm Marwa, and I head marketing and comms for Masaood. We are Abu Dhabi's largest family business. We're into automotive, transportation, power, and construction.
Great. And Guil, you want to go next?
Sure, Shyam. Yeah, so Guil here. I look after the customer experience and design for Payit. So Payit Wallet is a digital wallet powered by First Abu Dhabi Bank. So we offer payments with QR codes, remittance, and things around payments. So yeah, happy and of course, glad to be here and talk about the digital environment and share thoughts with the amazing team here.
Looking forward. Good. Next to go, Daniel, quick introduction of yourself and Malki as a group.
Yes, hello everyone. Nice to meet you all. Yes, my name is Daniel Gomez. I've been here in the region for 3 years. I recently joined Malki Group as Chief Digital Officer. Malki Group is the leading partner for luxury distributors and retailers in Saudi Arabia. But now we're going very seriously into retail, and Omni-channel is a key part of our strategy. And we're building everything, taking into account the full customer experience end-to-end, connected all the channels.
Fantastic. Last but not the least, Haitham from Sprinklr. Haitham, really looking forward to the session with you. You can introduce yourself and what Sprinklr does.
Thank you, Shyam, and hello, everyone. My name is Haitham Elkhatib. I lead the Sprinklr Middle East and Africa region. Been doing that for the last 3 years. Been in the technology field in the region for a little over 22 years now. And what Sprinklr does, we built a unified customer experience management platform that helps organizations build human experiences at scale.
Absolutely. Okay, great. So very exciting topic, something close to my heart because I was quite involved in leading the multi-channel to omni-channel journey at the Landmark Group with several challenges, but we were getting there in terms of omni-channel readiness. I'd like to start the session with what are the key challenges each of you face. So I'll start with, again, I'll start with the lady, Marwa. Marwa, if you can tell us, I know you're representing a group which is very diversified, but I'd like you to focus on retail. Now in retail, if you can tell us how ready are you with Omni-channel and what are the challenges you face to get it, really going as a group?
Yeah, sure, thanks. So if I talk automotive, and this is basically our B2C entity, I'd say we've been trying to get ready to omni-channel for the past 3 to 4 years. And as an industry that is quite old and has been around for hundreds of years, we can see the challenges lie in the fact that the IT infrastructures that we have are not keeping up with the latest omni-channel technologies.
Yeah.
We are very much binded into old platforms, and we wait for them to create the updates and the APIs that are needed for this region. So a lot of the delays are in the hands of the IT providers somehow.
Yeah. Okay. Daniel, if I'd like you to come in, again, specifically from a retail perspective at Malki, how ready you think the retail businesses in terms of omni-channel, and what are the key challenges you have been working on with the other functional heads?
Yeah. So I would say that omni-channel in this region is a bit late compared to other regions. I was previously working for Inditex, so Zara, which has one of the best omni-channel experiences. And the key to move fast with in the company is what Marwa just mentioned about the systems. So we need to have the right platforms integrated, and then after that's built, then we can move fast. So the key challenges that we find here is just setting up the systems. Luckily, in Malki, we're doing a greenfield implementation, so we're moving super fast. And I would say that when companies are migrating from systems, a project can take 2 to 3 years, but when you're starting almost from scratch, you can move super fast. So our ambition, in our case, is to be full omnichannel by September this year, which is a record implementation. And we believe it's feasible because we don't have the disadvantage of the legacy. So if I would say a tip to some retailers is that sometimes you have to get rid of the legacy and start from scratch.
Okay, interesting. And Guil, I'd like you to come in. From a paid perspective, it's something very new. You have moved from kind of offline to online in terms of being the wallet, e-payment wallet. Can you tell us the transformation? And from an omni-channel perspective, where is the business right now and what are the challenges?
Yeah, that's interesting, like hearing from the other colleagues about the strategy of Omni-channel and being physically present, right?
Yeah.
Where our industry, finance and banking, is totally going digital, right? And
Yes.
you could see now with the pandemic how we had to change the way we communicate, the way we serve our customers from from a broad perspective, not only from the wallet, but the finance in general. So this is our goal. So pre-COVID, what happened was that some of our customers, although we are purely digital, they wanted to because of different reasons, they wanted to go to a branch for whatever reason that would be. And even if you sort of force that, say, look, we are a digital product, they had that still feeling, or whether there is an emotion or there is a connection that they still have with someone. So, and then of course change it because of the pandemic. But it's very interesting to see and look after the strategies from the other side, where you have to be presented physically, but now in digital you don't have to. And then we talk about open APIs, which the team is talking about the challenges under the IT, right? Which I think it's the next step. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Haitham, one key word when I looked at your at Sprinklr website was the word silos. Now that's something which is so critical to for the transformation to omni-channel. Most organizations work in silos and with functions not talking to each other. Now, when you look as a service provider, someone who's breaking the silos and integrating functions, where do you think the global market is from that perspective and the regional market? What's the big difference between your global clients and your regional clients?
Yeah, it's a great question, Shyam. Thank you. And I think it's a very, again, multifaceted question, because when you talk about silos, you're talking about technology, but you're talking about people and process. And yes. So whereas I let my esteemed colleagues kind of focus on the people and the process, I think from the technology point of view, what we've seen post-COVID is that, I mean, COVID kind of disrupted everything, and companies that have not sort of adapted to what the data and technology that's out there have really kind of been left out. And so I think from our point of view, I think our biggest challenge, and what we work on every day working with our customers, is to try to bring to our customers the attention, the fact that CXM data is out there. 99% of customers' connected experiences live outside of the CRM, and they're mostly available. Yeah. So being able to bring in that data using AI with the technologies that are available now, to be able to make, and I think, Tagreed touched a little bit on that in the previous session, using AI and content to really be able to dig down into understanding those experiences and act on them is actually possible from a technical point of view. So I think a lot of brands today, and most brands, do not realize that is there, but it's actually there and it's happening. It might be happening with the top 10-15% of brands today, but it is a journey that is going to take its place with all brands moving forward.
Haitham, one quick question: of all the sectors you see, which sector you think is getting quite there in terms of omni-channel in this region? Is it the banking sector?
Yes.
Is it, grows?
It's a great question. Yeah, again, I see digital banks are because I think, as Daniel mentioned, I think the fact that you are digitally native helps a lot, and it actually gives you an opportunity to start from scratch and think outside. So we're helping a number of, actually most of the digital banks on their launch and their approach in the region. So I think banking from that point of view is actually, I think what is interesting is that governments in this region, governments are quite, because again, it is a challenge of looking at the citizen and looking at happiness and looking at communicating with the customer. They are doing amazing things, and we are doing amazing things with governments. I think retail is getting there. I think there's a lot to do with legacy systems, as our colleagues have talked about, and it's about doing that leap of faith. So and basically kind of maybe jumping one step ahead to get to that state.
So the next question, Marwa, there are three key components when it comes to going from multi-channel to omni-channel. One, of course, is resources, which is money. At the same time, that resources is also linked to technology, which Haitham was explaining, and then of course there's the people component, which is talent. So you have resource, which let's talk. That's about investment. You have technology and talent. Quickly, can you tell us where do you see these kind of pulling in and out in terms of levers in your group? Where do you think these three components fit in your business right now?
Yeah, well, thanks. I think from a people perspective, there's a huge appetite internally to move to omni-channel. This is going to facilitate the customer journey on everyone, especially when your industry is heavily dependent on the after-sale component and the lifetime of the consumer. I think technology is lagging behind. We've been awaiting APIs for years now from some of the providers, and that is setting us back. What I would like to touch upon is from a human element and a people element, talking about automotive and marine. We also do e-commerce with marine. The last mile of the transaction in these industries is still not very much digitized, in the sense that the leads are there and people are exploring and discovering and conversing with us. But the last mile of the journey and the transaction remains human to human point, where it's settled either in a showroom or in a service center.
Okay, Guil, what about you? How do you see it? Because you are representing a very large bank, and this is a new service. So from a resource perspective and talent, how is it playing out for you?
Yeah, I think, look at just Marwa said, the challenge of looking at is a specific point where you need a trust, where you usually would have someone else to help you out. So I think one of the programs which was really interesting for us and turned out to be sort of someone else interested on the app. It's just really like a normal user onboarded on the app and saw the referral program and said, oh, okay, I can sort of make money here. Yeah, I can get money. So I invited someone and then they do a transaction. And we sort of have, not that we created, it started naturally within the community, sort of ambassadors of creating videos on YouTube and then advising people how to do it, because they were interested on that, right? Of course, there is money involved, but also in the way that, oh, they experienced it, they worked, and then they pass it on to someone else. So that is something that helped us, because at scale, you can't just do it yourself. Of course, like the ticket of what Marwa was saying, for a boat or for marine or for an automotive, it's different, right? The decision making might be longer. But for sending money home in a trusted app, it's something that you don't see anybody. So how we do that? So I think that was the way we could actually translate this physical interaction, just like going to an exchange house, to digital. Yeah.
Daniel, back to you. Just going a bit off script here. I just for me it was about the ownership and the stakeholder right at the top, at the board level. Completely embracing and completely understanding the importance of omnichannel. From Daniel, from your perspective, how do you think your ownership and your board of directors are responding to the omni-channel challenge? Are they truly putting in an effort to put in the right resource and talent?
Yes, definitely. Everything comes from the top, from the CEO. This is the new operating model. The customer behavior changes and the operating model of the company changes. So everyone has to be aligned. When the CEO and the top leadership sends the message, things happen, because Omnichannel, it has a lot of impact in HR.
Yeah.
You know, we have to talk about compensation of people in the different channels, how we manage that. Is about marketing, because it's not only about getting people visiting our stores or online stores, it's how you manage the end-to-end experience, is operations, is logistics, is everything. So if there is no, there isn't a clear vision from the CEO and there is not a clear support on that, then everything will fail. And if you go to any of these global companies, yearly reports, public companies, they mention Omnichannel several times in their reports, because it's coming from the top strategy from the company. So if it's a statement that they tell publicly to the markets, and they have to fulfill what they promise.
Okay, great. Okay, so we just have 2 minutes left. Quickly, Daniel, you can continue. Your biggest learning from the pandemic. One of few words.
Yes, you have to take risk, get things done, because time flies. So you have to get things done.
Marwa, your biggest learning.
It takes longer than you think it does.
Tell us.
I've done an omni-channel project previously, even for a bank, and it always takes longer than you anticipate it would. And again, with banking, I started 10 years ago with omni-channel, and legislation was not ready for that. So I still believe it takes longer than you think.
Okay. Okay. Guil, your biggest learning from the pandemic.
Yeah, I think, Shyam, is it's just not about your products anymore. I mean, it wasn't like that before, but I think it made it stronger, right? It's about how your customer feels. So, you know, this is my biggest learning. Not only about your product, it's, you know, marketing, communication, the way you talk to them when they have a problem. It's about them. Yeah, it's about how they feel, what's going on with them. So I think that's the key thing that we learned.
Perfect. And Haitham, what about you? What has the pandemic taught you the most?
It's you know, I'll take what Guil said, and I'll also flip it from our point of view as a B2B vendor, right? As a software, it's all about the customer, and it's all about the value that you drive at the highest level of the organization. Because any investment in technology, it's hard, it costs, it's a journey, and it requires a lot of stakeholders. And to be able to do that successfully, you have to be able to align to the value drivers that the organizations are trying to deliver. And that is what we do in every single customer prospect that we have. And that's what allows us to be able to be successful with customers. So that is I think the most important takeaway for us out of the pandemic.